So today I'm going to show you guys how to use Mpeg Streamclip to import your original media QuickTime files that you'll be creating on your DSLRs. So I'll open up Mpeg Streamclip, and what we'll want to do is hit List, Batch List, and we're going to add files. And so on my desktop, I use the F900's the flash recorder that we were using with that to create these QuickTime files, and I do not want to use these original QuickTime files to edit with because it has too much information and it's going to really kind of slow down the render time in Final Cut. So I'm going to click on the top file. You can either use the command button and select the ones that you want, or you can hold down the shift button, select them all, and click to batch. We do want to export to QuickTime, and I'm going to create a new folder. It's going to be called F900 APR. The APR will stand for Apple ProRes, but I want it over here. F900 APR. Yeah, that's where I want it. Well, let me delete this one. No, we'll just deal with that later. Okay, so I'm going to direct it to this file that I want. And now we need to select our codec. There's several that you can choose from. Apple ProRes is an excellent choice. We will ultimately be choosing Apple ProRes Lite for this particular project. Do not choose H.264 unless if you're editing with the material. This is a finishing codec for posting on the web later. If you guys are shooting at 24 frames per second and want to stay editing 24 frames per second through your workflow, make sure you choose that. But this is an option for you to also go at 30 frames per second. Basically, you just need to pick one and stick with it. If you go with 24 frames per second, you'll edit your whole project, sound everything that way, and then when you do your final export to create a DVD, you will then need to create it as a 30 frame per second so that it'll play properly. I'm going to pick Apple ProRes Lite. When I set up my camera, I told it to shoot 30 frames per second. So in Apple ProRes, it'll just respect whatever frame rate you gave it. If you have sound, you want to use uncompressed. I don't have sound on this project, so I'm going to turn that off. We want 1920 by 1080 unscaled or 1920 by 1080 16 by 9 are the two that you will choose. Then we'll send that to batch. And then all we need to do is press go, and it will start processing those clips. And we'll look in here and we'll see them as they start adding in. And then these files are the ones that you will use to edit, and that will speed up your workflow immensely.